Hey, Facebook Live, it's your girl, Dr. V. Great Tuesday. I know it's election day and people are out voting, and some of us have already voted. I just wanted to talk to you guys about some life stuff, right? Um, so I'm going to give you guys a chance to come in. I know people are just getting off work, and it's a transition time for folks. So I'm going to give you a chance to get on, and once you get on, let me know who's on and where you're tuning in from. Let me know who's on and where you're tuning in from. This word is going to be a little different. I pray that this word is a word that makes you think, right? More so than a shouting word or, any of that. Like, we're in a season where we really have to think. We've got to think. We've got to be able to press through and push through, but in a different way. Hey, Stacy, how are you, gorgeous? So let me say this. Let me say this because I want you guys to really understand my heart and where I'm coming from. Sometimes we spend a lot of time doing, right? We spend a lot of time doing. We're doing this and we're doing that. We're making things happen. I'm great at doing, right? I'm great at doing. I mastered the art of the do. It is a place where you become who you need to be, where you become the person that you need to be. You become the mother or the father that you need to be. Like, you become that, right? Now, this is the thing about being. Being requires you to operate on a different frequency level. Different frequency. Doing, you're operating here, you get it done. Bam, 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 bam. Being requires you, I'm not saying that you're not going to do, but you're going to do differently, right? Being requires you to elevate your frequency. It requires you to operate on a higher frequency so that it's not about the work. It's about the be, and the other things come to you, okay? So being is a different place. It is a place of translation, right? You are translated to the place of be from the place of do. See, you can't just get there, right? It is a mindset. It is a spiritual thing. It is something that happens, and you may not even quite realize that you've shifted from the do to the be. But let me give you some indications that either the shift has happened or the shift is happening or the shift is imminent. Okay? These are some key indications. The things that you used to just do with ease become difficult. The things that you used to just do with ease become difficult. When the things that you used to just do, and it was just easy for you to do it because you were so used to doing, when that becomes difficult for you, when it becomes hard for you, when you can't think, you can't get clear, you can't, it's like everything is shutting down around you, then that's a pretty good indication that you may be in position from a shift from the do to the be. You may be in position from a shift from the do to the be. Now, this is the next thing. This is the next key clue that you may be getting ready to shift from the do to the be. The people that you were in the do with. This is going to sound so crazy, right? Okay? The people that you used to do with, all of you were doing. You'll discover those relationships change. Hey, Brandon. you'll discover those relationships change. Now, let me tell you why they have to change. Y'all, listen, it's not fun, it's not easy, but it just is. And as we mature and as we grow, then our understanding of relationships, of dynamics, of all of that, it'll begin to shift as well, right? And we'll begin to look at it a little bit differently. But those relationships will change because if God is moving you to the B place and you're with doers, doers will always look down on your being. If God is shifting you from the place of do to the place of be, doers will always look down on your B because your B looks like you're not doing anything. Okay? The B looks like you're not doing anything. So they're looking at you like, oh, you're not doing anything. Oh, you're lazy. Oh, whatever, whatever. Okay? But it's because you're shifting from the do to the be. Now, I know this may not be sexy to y'all. Y'all, this may not be sexy. This may not be hype for you. But I'm telling you, if you can understand this, then you can take your journey and move to this next place that God is trying to get you to with greater ease and a greater grace. With a greater ease and a greater grace. So, another key indication that you may be shifting from, or may have shifted from, or may be being positioned to shift from the do to the be, is that, okay, we talked about the things you used to just do with ease, but we talked about how the relationships with doers will begin to change because he's moving you to a place of be. There's another piece. You'll discover it's almost a block to doing. Almost a block doing. And I'm telling you, it's like you want to do, because that's what you know, right? You know doing, you know hustling, you know grinding, you know getting it, right? I know that. I know that. I'm very familiar with it. You know, people will often talk about my hustle, my grind. I get it done, right? I'll talk about it. But something's happened. Something's happened. And what's happened is I can't just do anymore. And it's so funny because every time I try to just do, it's like God just shuts me down. Like I get to a place where I can't think, I can't get clear. But the moment I step into the being, it's so effortless. It's like you're walking, but you don't feel the ground under your feet because you're just being. And in your being, things begin to manifest. And in your being, things begin to show up just in your being. I can't make it up. I can't tell you that there is, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to say it because it's such a different place. And I know that when you are in that place, it's challenging and it's lonely and it's frustrating and you feel crazy. And it's hard to talk to people about it because a lot of people won't get it. They won't understand. But if you will stay the course, you will shift from doing to being. And when you become that person that you need to be, the other things begin to align in your life. And not because of what you do, but because who you are. how you show up, it happens. And so for me, and this is why I'm sharing this with you all, for me, I got so good at doing that the thought of just being made me feel like I wasn't doing anything. It's the thought of it. The thought of just being made me feel like, I need to do something. I need to do something. But what I've discovered is there are things that God has shut down, things that He's opened up, doors that He's closed, doors that He's opened. And it's all according to the divine plan that He has for my life. It's not me acting funny. It's not me, doing anything. It's me simply learning how to be when He shuts down the do. You got to learn how to be when He shuts down the do. It reminds me of this. I can remember when our family was moved to Tampa, because God really moved us to Tampa. When we were moved to Tampa, it was real evident to both of us, both Rick and I, we could not go back to get our stuff. Like every time we tried to go back to get our stuff, like it would get shut down. Something would happen to the car. Something would happen every single time. So we knew, okay, we can't go back. Now, you talk to people about this stuff, and they'll be like, oh, well, how did you know? Well, maybe it was just you. No, literally. Like I'm telling you, every time. Okay? So we had to start over from scratch. And I went from, and there were about 2 or 3 times where this transition happened for me, where I had to figure some things out, right? I went from doing education, right? I was the professor. That was my identity, was the professor. What did I do? I taught. I taught at the university, right? And this is where it's dangerous in the B, because you can fall into the B and it not work for you, right? You can be in the wrong direction, on a low vibration, to being homeless. I went from doing teaching, being a professor, to being homeless. And when you begin to be homeless, understand, it becomes your identity. In the same way, when you begin to be a millionaire, it becomes your identity, right? You're a millionaire. That's who you are. I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. Like you become that, right? Whatever's on the other side of it. So you have to really be careful what you put on the other side of it. Now I know that, you guys may be like, Dr. V, I really wasn't trying to hear all this. Today is election day. I really want to focus on the election. Right, I get it. But listen, can I help you out for just 1 second? Just 1 second. If you just will give me, matter of fact, give me 10 seconds of your time. 10 seconds of your time to wrap it up and talk to you about this, because I really need you to understand this. 10, okay? Yes, the election is happening, and yes, it's important. And yes, lives are going to be impacted by it. But you've got to be careful what you become after this election. What will you be? Who will you be after this election? Will you be someone that looks like God, or will you be someone who creates strife and confusion and mess and like overwhelm and anger and frustration? And who will you be? I really had to look at this thing and make a conscious decision about my being. And I told you guys this morning that I elect peace. That's what I elect. I elect peace, right, for me, my household, and my family. Now, I want you to be aware of who you become when all this is said and done. Today, you have the opportunity to be someone to be something that you may not have ever been before, but you can do it today. You can be it today. That's the beauty of being. You can be whoever you need to be. So today I encourage you, be who God needs you to be. Operate at a higher frequency so that you're not base, right? And know that in your being, the more you become who you were created to be, the more God can release into your hands his promises. And you'll have a grace and a peace that will surpass all understanding. I pray that this helped you. I pray that it helped you to kind of understand what's going on in your life if you're in that place. And I pray that maybe it helped you to understand people around you if they're in that place. But either way, my prayer is this, that you will be all that you're created to be by the Creator, and that you will operate from that place in a way that gives him glory and brings him glory and brings you peace. Listen, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be great, be epic, be you. I'll talk to you guys later. Mwah. Be blessed.